Warning: the following video is a satire. It is not to be taken seriously by anyone, anywhere. If you can't take a joke, don't watch this video. If you don't like foul language, do not watch this video. You have been warned. If you choose to watch this video, you understand the rights that you have and don't have. You have the right to enjoy it. You have the right to hate it. You do not have the right to complain about the fact that it has foul language and that it could be offensive. I told you, this is a satire. It's a joke. Okay, someone wrote a response. It appears one of the professors from the neurology department saw it. He says, "Dear Foggy and Groggy, couldn't help but notice your ad. I'm assuming and hoping this was meant to be a joke, but this is actually a very serious matter and thus deserves a serious response. What you experience is most likely a blackout. What is a blackout? Basically, you drank so much, so quickly, that you actually impaired your ability to form new memories from that night. That's why you couldn't remember how you got home the next day. I won't lecture you on how dangerous that is, but just imagine what other things you could have done or had done to you and not remember the next day. Research also suggests that women are more likely to experience blackouts. I'll lecture her on what could have happened. She could have got fucking raped. That shit happens. It's not that funny, viewer. If you're laughing right now, you're a bad person." Continuing on, why should you care? Heavy doses of alcohol can impair the function of a region of the brain called the hippocampus, which plays a vital role in memory and learning. Hippocampus, memory and learning. Therefore, it's really no surprise that you have been having a hard time concentrating, studying for exams. I'm pretty confident that you didn't damage your brain in one night, but frequent heavy drinking can have long-term effects. Especially for young people, because their brain is still developing until people are in their mid-20s. I remember that question from the first exam and I got it right. My advice is avoid taking shots and chugging alcohol. Take better care of your brain because it's the only one you got. Till we learn how to harvest them from test tubes and shit. They're probably working on that. I don't know. Don't ask me. Let's talk about more questions I'm not going to get into. Getting the facts. Understanding sexual assault on campus. Now we're getting into the serious shit. About this section of the course discusses sexual assault and rape and its impact on the campus and community. It gives you facts about sexual assault and rape, plus information about what you and others can do to make your campus safer for everyone. When you are finished, you will be able to answer these questions. What are the facts about sexual assault and rape? How is consent for sexual activity determined? How do most men feel about consent and sexual assault? How can you get involved in preventing sexual assault on your campus? How can you make informed decisions to avoid dangerous situations? What strategies can be used to intervene when you are in a situation that might lead to sexual assault? How can you best help a friend that's been sexually assaulted? Heavy shit. But we need to get through this. Alright. Before we begin, let's see what you already know about sexual assault. You're going to ask me questions and I need to respond to them. The number one date rape drug is Rufinol, GHB, alcohol, ecstasy, or tranquilizers. It's Rufinol, aka Roofies. Please indicate to what extent you agree or disagree with the following statements, regardless whether a person is drinking or sober. If he or she did not consent to have sex, then it is rape. I agree. The terms sexual assault and rape essentially mean the same thing. I can disagree. It's different. Men think it's important to have a partner's consent for sex. I would have to say, strongly agree. At least I hope that is the answer. I'm going to be severely pissed if it isn't. Pissed at you, male viewers. You better think it's okay to have consent. Before responding to this final question, we want to mention that while material covered in this section is important, we acknowledge you may find it distressing if you or someone close to you is a survivor of sexual violence. Your campus offers assistance for those who may need additional information. Have you ever been the victim of sexual violence, assaulted or raped? Remember, your response is anonymous. I have not. We're going to continue on. Why are you learning about sexual assault and rape in a program that's about alcohol? Statistics show that the majority of these crimes on college campuses involve alcohol, used by both or just one of the parties. This does not mean that alcohol causes sexual assault or rape, only that it plays a major role. Students, both men and women, can do much to reduce this crime by monitoring their alcohol consumption and by challenging the elements of campus environment that contribute to rape and sexual assault. There's a lot more written there, but we're going to move on. We're going to look at some statistics about men and sexual assault. This is the heavy shit, viewer. Better be paying attention. What do you think? In a recent university study, what percentage of male students do you think agree that it is not right to pressure a woman to drink alcohol in order to increase their chances of having sex? Answers are 10, 35, 50, and 75. I'm going to go with 75. I'm going to see what that warrants me. Most men, 75%, don't think it's right to pressure a woman to drink alcohol to facilitate sex. It's good. It still means there's 25 of you dickwads. I don't like you people. A recent study at a university, what percentage of male students say they would stop sexual activity the first time their date says no? Answers are 15, 35, 60, and 90. I'm going to go with 90. I hope not to be surprised. Fully 90 men, 90% I should say, of men would stop sexual activity if their partner said no. Good. Let's see how much you know about the crime of sexual assault. In the next section, you will be given a statement about sexual assault and asked to decide whether a statement is a fact or not a fact. Think carefully and choose the answer which most closely matches what you think. Most rapes and sexual assaults are committed by a small number of men. Repeat offenders. I'm going to say that's a fact. Let's see if it is. It is a fact. Most men will never commit sexual assault in their life. It just means a small number of men commit a large number of assaults. Serial predators. I'm going to get 8 of these. I got 1 out of 8 right. The term sexual assault means the same thing as rape. No, it's not a fact. They are 2 different terms. Sexual assault, according to the Department of Justice, is any unwanted sexual conduct, such as groping and fondling, that stops just short of rape, and rape is forced intercourse. Alright, now you know. It is important to note that laws in some states use the term rape and sexual assault interchangeably. The majority of sexual assaults are committed by men who have been drinking alcohol. I'm going to say that's a fact. Let's see if I'm right. It isn't, actually. 50% of all sexual assaults involve alcohol used by the perpetrator. Many other sexual assaults are committed by serial predators who tend not to drink themselves in order to maintain control over the victim. Okay, apparently got that one wrong. Gamma hydroxybutyrate, GHB, I fucked that up, I know I did, is commonly used date rape drug. It's not a fact. Actually, alcohol is the most common date rape drug. Many perpetrators use alcohol to incapacitate their victims, male or female, making them easier prey. If a person is under the influence of drugs or alcohol, has sex but does not remember the events that occurred, the perpetrators can still be indicted for rape. I'll say that's a fact. By law, a person whose decision-making skills are impaired by alcohol and drugs is considered by the law incapable of giving consent, even if he or she appears to be giving consent at the time. 1 out of 100 men are raped during their lifetime. Not a fact. I'm gonna guess. 1 in 33. It wasn't true. It's 1 in 33 are raped during their lifetime. Fuck. Either in childhood or adulthood. Although a small percentage of men are raped by women, the majority of these rapes are committed by male offenders.